Yeah. Two. Yeah. Aye. I'm jacking the beat, you calling the cops, the yapping is cheap, I call you the ops, the rapping is hating, it's all cause of pop. You get a leak for the ball, get a drop. Feel like I'm wrong when I double it back, cause I'm making it harder to catch that. But I covered the ticket, I call you to visit, you tipping and hit up the cash app. Baby girl, been around for it, yeah. In the old days, I was stuck in old ways, never really trying to flip the old page. Young man tripping at an old age, thinking I was flicking, had a low wage, led the broad days, then a slow praise, thinking it'd be different, it would gon' change, then it really didn't, it's a cold game, yeah. Ay, all I really wanted was the money in the pocket, got over money, but the money ain't the topic, like Bill Doe and the money gotta stop it, kid need food and the whip need juice, I'ma get these views when the
Why they party? I'm in here grinding. Money I'm stacking. Why they rock diamonds? I can't relate to them, ain't my chick calming. I set a goal for me 2 or 3 commas. 7 figures, 8 figures to 9 figures. On a slow pace to get rich quick. Same time we just think different. Cause when you make it, it hit different.
What it do, baby? It's your partner Dale back in the saddle again for another edition of the Countermoves Podcast, where we look at an issue, whether it be political, economically, or socially, kind of unpack it together, infuse wisdom to that thing, and prescribe the right solution. Man, thanks so much, blessed with your time. And if you could share. And if you like what you're hearing, if you're getting some value out of this, man, subscribe, man, and get those likes up, man, so we can trigger the algorithm, guys, no matter what platform that you're on, man. And today, guys, is going to be a very good treat, man. As everybody knows, what's going on concerning social media, there is a very popular app named TikTok. And what's happening with TikTok is there was a historic vote in the House of Representatives for Congress to actually really ban TikTok, either to force it to be sold to a U.S. company, and if that's not done, ban it completely out of the U.S. economy. And it has been a ripple effect. It's been crazy. I've been asked about commentary about it. I've been on other social media platforms talking about it. And I initially approached this from a private equity standpoint, right? When it came to the forcing of the purchase and or banning, right? But then I got some wisdom from some content creators that are very popular on social media, and they gave me a different perspective that I did not consider, and it kind of alarmed me a little bit because of the fact that of what was actually in the bill. And so my previous comments came before I read the bill. I then read the bill and I had to change my approach a little bit, y'all, because man, this bill, man, is something, some kind of interesting. But this is historic. This is historic. TikTok is probably the most popular social media platform, I think, in the U.S. If not top 3, because I believe it's TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and also Snapchat as well. Also, but there's been some discussion about the Chinese Communist Party, a company called Binance, actually being owned by the Chinese Communist Party in some form or fashion. And I said, And so the reason why Congress was doing what they were doing is because they were afraid of, they were concerned. I was afraid, but concerned about China, which is our biggest rival, being involved in the U.S. Economy, and also monitoring and collecting data on our consumers, which is healthy. That's a healthy concern. The response to that concern concerning this bill is what we're going to look at today, guys. We're going to sit down and reason together and prescribe the right solution. So, man, let's dive in this real quickly, man. Look at this, guys. The House of Representatives, guys, they actually voted 352 and 50. This is bipartisan. 352 Republicans and Democrats voted together, and 65 voted nay on it. So 352 yay, 65 nay, guys. And it was an historic vote, man. Let's look at this real quickly here, guys. Let's go to our uh, I would say our friends, but let's go to the news outlet real quickly here. This is on CNN Politics. As you can see, guys, it says here, TikTok banned how each member of the House voted. This was bipartisan, guys. This was bipartisan. A large number of Democrats and Republicans voted for this ban, right? All right. It says the House on Wednesday approved legislation that could ban TikTok in the United States over concerns about the video sharing platform's China ownership, right? So the concern is China. That's the concern. The bill would pass on a bipartisan 352 to 65 vote, would require the app to part ways with its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, right, within 180 days, or face a ban in America app stores, right? Then it says the measure is now expected to move to the U.S. Senate, where it faces an uncertain future, right? So it passed the House, and now it's going over to the Senate now, right? But look at this, guys. Look at this. Here is a little graft. Thank you, CNN. 155 Democrats said yes. 197 Republicans said yes. 50 Democrats said no. 15 Republicans said no. 8 voted not voting or present on the Democratic side, and 7 on the Republican side. So this is pretty bipartisan, right? There's a jointness. I'm not gonna make it political at all, guys, to let you know who actually voted nay on it. But hold on. Here are all the people that actually voted. I'm not gonna read them all off. There's a lot of names, guys. But this was really, really bipartisan, right? Now, let's go over here. Now it says going to the Senate now, because we have 2 chambers when it comes to the legislature. You have the House and the Senate. Now, here's the interesting thing about the Senate, right? Here we go. Now, if you look at it, I'm gonna make it a little bigger for everybody real quickly here. And this is gonna become really good. Give me a second. Hold on with your partner. Now, it says the TikTok ban, right? Could the TikTok bill that could lead to ban faces uphill climb in the Senate. In other words, the Senate is saying we may not agree with this. We may not agree with this at all. And so let's read a little bit of it when it comes to the Washington. Why is it not getting bigger for me? Oh well. That's not getting bigger. Oh well. Oh, that's fine. It says this is from CBS News. It says a bill that could lead to a ban of TikTok in the U.S. sailed through the House, as we saw the numbers, with rapid speed on Wednesday, but is facing headwinds in the slower moving Senate. The Senate does move a lot slower than the House, right? Where previous efforts to restrict the popular app has stalled. So currently, right now, it's stalled in the Senate, right? They haven't been brought to a vote yet, right? It says so that is what you're seeing when it comes to the Senate. The Senate is saying, wait a minute, we ain't liking there's some concerns in this bill. And we're going to go through those concerns because when I initially made my assessment of this, I came from a private equity standpoint because I was saying, you know what? I can understand them forcing TikTok to be sold because from a PEVC standpoint, right? There's a valuation, a component to that asset. And you're going to hear how many users are on TikTok in a second because we're going to hear the testimony of the TikTok CEO. And we're going to listen to his words, okay? So the valuation is crazy big, right? Valuation meaning how much a company is actually valued, right? There's a valuation that goes there. But what's happening is ByteDance has some type of connections to the Chinese Communist Party, right? The CCP, which is our chief rival. Let's keep it a ban. And when I begin to hear that, I said, okay, I can understand the selling of it, right? Because we don't want an exterior competitor trying to really surveil the citizens and try to kind of coerce through that app the thought processes of the users, right? As well as try to really transform their mind into what they want it to be. I can understand that type of concern. But guys, let's go ahead and widen the circle a little bit more, guys. We saw what it said concerning the news. Now, guys, here we go. Not that we all said that one already. Now, the TikTok CEO's testimony before Congress, the House, and the Senate called him up to the Hill to testify. And what he had to say, guys, really kind of alarmed me because not alarmed me in a bad way, but it was more like, man, okay, I didn't know any of this at all. So we're going to listen to a little bit of his statements, guys, and then we're going to look at the damn bill because that's an important thing, right? Here we go. Now watch this, guys. Here is the TikTok CEO's testimony, and he says some things that were counter to what has been reported, right, in the news. And we're going to vet that live right here. Here we go. Let's get it in real fast.
2 years ago, I became the CEO of TikTok. Today, we have more than 1 billion monthly active users around the world, including over 150 million in the United States. Our app is a place where people can be creative and curious, and where close to 5 million American businesses, mostly small businesses, go to find new customers and to fuel their growth. Now, as TikTok has grown, we've tried to learn the lessons of companies that have come before us, especially when it comes to the safety of teenagers. While the vast majority of people on TikTok are over 18, one of our fastest growing demographics are people over 35.
Okay.
We spent a lot of time adopting measures to protect teenagers. Many of those measures are first.
So he's saying right from the get-go, guys, he's saying that they put in some guardrails to protect the users, right? The children and other users, right? So let's keep listening to what he has to say now. Here we go.
For the social media industry. We forbid direct messaging for people under 16, and we have a 16-minute watch time by default for those under 18. We have a suite of family pairing tools so that parents can participate in their teens' experience and make the choices that are right for their family.
Okay.
We want TikTok to be a place where teenagers can come to learn, which is why we recently launched a feed that exclusively features educational videos about STEM. STEM videos already have over 116 billion views on TikTok. And I think TikTok is inspiring a new generation to discover a passion for math and science.
Okay.
Now, I would also like to talk about national security concerns that you have raised.
Okay, here we go.
That we take very, very seriously.
Okay, we're finna see.
Let me start by addressing a few misconceptions about ByteDance, of which we are a subsidiary. ByteDance is not owned or controlled by the Chinese government.
Stop right there. That right there is a bombshell statement. He, under oath, just said that ByteDance is not owned or controlled. He used those words by the Communist Chinese Party. He said this under oath. That's a statement there. Here we go. Let's get it. Here we go.
It's a private company.
Private?
60% of the company is owned by global institutional investors. 20% is owned by the founder, and 20% owned by employees around the world. ByteDance.
Stop right there. Now I got a question. Notice how he broke down the ownership. He broke down 20% is owned by global investors. Question, who are those investors? And they're global. Where? Where are those investors at? You just made a comment concerning, right, that ByteDance is not controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, great. You mentioned global investors. Who are they? You also mentioned employees. Great. And you're going to mention also some U.S. investors as well. Okay, great. Who owns the 20% in the global investors? I want to know that. We ain't going to skate over that. We know who that is. And how are they invested? Or is it shell upon shell? All right, we know what's going on to properly vet if ByteDance doesn't have any scintilla of control by the Chinese Communist Party. If you're going to make these type of statements, we need to vet all that out. Okay, let's keep it going.
ByteDance has 5 board members. 3 of them are American. Now, TikTok itself is not available in many.
Stop right there. Who are the other 2? Why didn't you mention the other 2? These are logical questions. You mentioned the 3 Americans, right? Well, who are the other 2? These are logical questions. Why didn't you answer that question, brother? Again, you saying that it's not controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. Cool. Proof. Here we go.
In mainland China. We're headquartered in Los Angeles and in Singapore, and we have 7,000 employees in the US today. Still, we have heard important concerns about the potential for unwanted foreign access to US data and potential manipulation of the TikTok US ecosystem.
For sure.
Our approach has never been to dismiss or trivialize any of these concerns. We have addressed them with real action. Now, that's what we've been doing for the last 2 years, building what amounts to a firewall that seals off protected US user data from unauthorized foreign access. The bottom line is this: American data stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel.
I mean, he's saying that TikTok is an American company, ran by with data stored on the American ground. He's saying all things TikTok is in America. He's saying this. Well, at the exact same time, I got to be balanced, right? Got to be balanced. You said it was 5 people on the board. You said 3 American, who are those 2, and who owns 20%? Who's the global 20% investors? We just want to know. Those are honest questions. I'll take you at your word, brother. When you're saying that TikTok is an American company, gotcha. All right, prove it. Let's get it in. These are logical questions. Here we go.
We call this initiative Project Texas. That's where Oracle is headquartered. Today, US TikTok data is stored by default in Oracle's servers. Only vetted personnel operating in a new company called TikTok US Data Security can control access to this data. Now, additionally, we have plans for this company to report to an independent American board with strong security credentials. Now, there's still some work to do. We have legacy US data sitting in our servers in Virginia and in Singapore. We're deleting those, and we expect that to be complete this year. When that is done, all protected US data will be under the protection of US law and under the control of the US-led security team. This eliminates the concern that some of you have shared with me that TikTok user data can be subject to Chinese law. This goes further, by the way, than what any other company in our industry have done. We will also provide unprecedented transparency and security for the source code for the TikTok app and recommendation engine. Third-party validators like Oracle and others will review and validate our source code and algorithms. This will help ensure the integrity of the code that powers what Americans see on our app.
He dropped some dimes.
We will further provide access to researchers, which helps them study and monitor our content ecosystem. Now, we believe we are the only company that offers this level of transparency.
I mean, I got to give it to him a little bit, man. He dropping some dimes right now. I mean, he killing the game right now, except on two things, and you know what those are. But man, he's let's keep it going, y'all. I got to give it to him. This is all under oath with the penalty of perjury. Okay, here we go.
Now, trust is about actions we take. We have to earn that trust with decisions we make for our company and our products. The potential security, privacy, content manipulation concerns raised about TikTok are really not unique to us. The same issues apply to other companies. We believe what's needed are clear, transparent rules that apply broadly to all tech companies. Ownership is not at the core of addressing these concerns. Now, as I conclude, there are more than 150 million Americans who love our platform, and we know we have a responsibility to protect them, which is why I'm making the following commitments to you and to all our users. Number one, we will keep safety, particularly for teenagers, as a top priority for us. Number two, we will firewall protected US data from unwanted foreign access. Number three, TikTok will remain a place for free expression and will not be manipulated by any government. And fourth, we will be transparent and we will give access to third-party independent monitors to remain accountable for our commitments. I'll be grateful for any feedback that you have, and I look forward to your questions. Thank you very much.
I gotta give it to my man's in them. He was pretty open. He was pretty open on that one, except on 2 points. I gotta give him praise real fast. He was open, transparent. He actually dropped some dimes, which was great. Okay, all under oath with the penalty of perjury, right? All under oath. This here is something. Now, number 2, I got 2 issues though. He mentioned 5 board members. He said 3 of them were American. Question, who are the other 2? Okay? If you're going to make the comment that it's not controlled by the Chinese Communist Party, cool, who are the other 2? He also said 20% and 20% of ownership is when it comes is from global investors. Great. Who are they? Are these entities? If there's entities, who are the founders of those entities? And so on and so forth. These questions they need to be answered. If you're going to say this concerning the Chinese Communist Party not being in ownership, rock it with you. Proof, please. These are logical questions. But other than that, his testimony was fire. I got to give it to him. I can tell you this right now. I have not seen any other CEO of a social media platform be as transparent as that dude, except on those 2 issues. But those other companies are American companies founded in America. See what I'm saying? That's what I would say there. That's what I would say right there. He was more forthright than the other companies. So man, that right there was good. Now here is some of the exchange between him and the U.S. Senate, because he also spoke at the U.S. Senate. All right, so let's see what he says about this, guys, because that's great that he spoke and wonderful that he spoke as well. But let's see how he actually handles the back and forth with some intelligent congressman. And I say intelligent, kind of facetious, because most of them are not. But I digress. Here we go. Let's dive into it.
Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
You're familiar with China's 2017 national intelligence
I got to give it to him. He answered those questions very, very flyingly. Let's go.
law, which states, quote, all organizations and citizens shall support, assist, and cooperate with national intelligence efforts in accordance with the law and shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of. TikTok is owned by ByteDance. Is ByteDance subject to the law?
For the Chinese businesses that ByteDance owns, yes, it will be subject to this, but TikTok is not available in mainland China. And Senator, as we talked about in your office, we built Project Texas to put this out of reach.
Stop right there. I got a question about that. ByteDance is a Chinese company. So the parent company of TikTok is ByteDance. And ByteDance is originated and owned in China, which means the Communist Chinese Party owns a segment or a percentage of ByteDance. How it normally works in China is if you want to do business in China, you have to, the Communist Party, Chinese Communist Party actually owns a percentage of your firm. And so if ByteDance actually is the parent company of TikTok, I can see the concern from a congressional standpoint, a national security standpoint. But what this gentleman is saying, the CEO is saying, he's saying that they put a guardrails around that to where they'll be out of reach of ByteDance. My question is, how? If they're your parent company, you're never out of reach. You're never out of reach. Never. That's like saying Nike America has nothing to do with Nike Hong Kong or Nike Japan when the parent company is Nike America. That didn't make any sense. Unless I'm missing something. And these guardrails he's talking about when it comes to, I think it says Project Texas, I believe. How does that type of structure really begin to I guess give the Heisman to your parent company. I have to see the language of that because I can't see from a contractual and a legality standpoint. I'm not an attorney at all. How that can give you that type of leeway there when your parent company is a Chinese company, right? I applaud the efforts of trying to put the guardrails around it. My question would be, what does it look like? And how does that negate any type of influence of your Chinese-owned company, ByteDance? That's a logical question. It's a logical question. You got to answer that question. Let's keep going. But I would say Senator Cotton asked some questions, and I'm going to lie to you, the CEO of TikTok destroyed that dude in that clip, right? And then Senator Cruz asked some questions, great questions, right? And I think Senator Cruz's questions were a little bit more poignant because of the legal background of Senator Cruz. All right, here we go. We're not done. Let's get it in. Okay, let's try the questions, okay?
So you said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore.
Okay.
Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation
I'm
in
asking-
Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two and a half years in
Do you
Singapore.
have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Okay.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's
Have you-
correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Why?
Okay.
Why? What? Why? What? Hold on. Why? You don't have to, but why? It's a logical question. Why? If your wife is American, you have American children, you run an American company, because in your opening statement when it came to the House, you were saying that TikTok is an American company. Why? I know you don't have to, but why haven't you applied for citizenship also to have dual citizenship for in America and Singapore? Why? Logical question. Logical question. Here we go. Let's keep it going, guys.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm
Okay.
Singaporean.
Let me ask you some hopefully simple questions. You said earlier, in response to a question, that what happened at Tiananmen Square in June of 1989 was a massive protest. Did anything else happen in Tiananmen Square?
Yes, I think it's well documented. There was a massacre.
There was
yeah.
the indiscriminate slaughter of hundreds or thousands of Chinese citizens.
Okay, let's move forward to Senator Cruz, because I think he does a better job at asking questions. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Boom. Here goes Senator Cruz.
Also by third parties to ensure that the system is rigorous and robust. No system that we have
made in the article,
Hold on, guys.
Intelligence law, which states, quote, all organizations and citizens shall support, assist, and cooperate with national intelligence efforts in accordance with the law and shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of.
Yes, I'm familiar with this.
TikTok is owned by ByteDance. Is ByteDance subject to the law?
For the Chinese businesses that ByteDance owns, yes, it will be subject to this, but TikTok is not available in mainland China. And Senator, as we talked about in your office, we built Project Texas to put this out of reach.
So ByteDance is subject to the law. Now, under this law, which says shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of, it compels people subject to the law to lie, to protect those secrets. Is that correct?
I cannot comment on that.
Why?
What I said again is that we have
Because
moved
you
it out
have
of
to
reach
protect those
this.
secrets?
Why?
No, Senator, TikTok is not available in mainland China. We have moved the data into an American cloud.
Hold on. I got a question. If TikTok is so great, big dog, if it's so great, why is it not available in mainland China? Why? Logical question. Why? I think it's available, but it's under another name, right? And it's totally different when it comes to what it's presenting in America for what has been projected, right? So I'm trying to figure out why is it not in China as well? I mean, these are great questions about Senator Cruz. I wanted to get to him because from a legality standpoint, this is where the key is, guys, right? Don't fall for all the spin. Listen to the legality questions that Senator Cruz actually asked for. I think him and Senator Mike Lee are the most qualified individuals in Congress, totally in both houses, to ask these type of questions because of their legal background when it comes to contract law. Listen.
TikTok is controlled by ByteDance, which is subject to this law. Now, you said earlier, and I wrote this down, we have not been asked for any data by the Chinese government, and we have never provided it. I'm going to tell you, and I told this when you and I met last week in my office, I do not believe you.
Damn.
And I'll tell you, the American people don't either.
Damn, okay.
If you look at what is on TikTok in China,
listen,
you are promoting to kids science and math videos, educational videos, and you limit the amount of time kids can be on TikTok.
Okay.
In the United States, you are promoting to kids self-harm videos and anti-Israel propaganda. Why is there such a dramatic difference?
Good question.
Senator, that is just not accurate.
Okay.
There's not a difference between what kids see in China and what kids see here?
Senator, TikTok is not available in China. It's a separate experience there. What I'm saying is...
But you have a company that is essentially the same, except it promotes beneficial materials instead of harmful materials.
That is not true. We have a lot of science and math content here on TikTok. There's so much of it. I created a STEM feed for 100 billion views.
Let me point to this, Mr. Chu. There was a report recently that compared hashtags on Instagram to hashtags on TikTok.
Okay.
TikTok. And what trended, and the differences were striking. So, for something like hashtag Taylor Swift or hashtag Trump, researchers found roughly 2 Instagram posts for every 1 on TikTok.
Okay.
That's not a dramatic difference.
Sure.
That difference jumps to 8 to 1 for the hashtag Uyghur.
Okay.
And it jumps to 30 to 1 for the hashtag Tibet. And it jumps to 57 to 1 to the hashtag Tiananmen Square, and it jumps to 174 to 1 for the hashtag Hong Kong protest. Why is it that on Instagram, people can put up a hashtag Hong Kong protest 174 times compared to TikTok? What censorship is TikTok doing at the request of the Chinese government?
None. Senator, that analysis is flawed. The analysis is flawed. It's been debunked by other external sources like the Cato Institute. Fundamentally, a few things happen here. Not all videos carry hashtags. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you cannot selectively choose a few words within a certain time
Why the
period.
difference between Taylor Swift and Tiananmen Square? What happened in Tiananmen Square?
Senator, there was a massive protest during that time. But what I'm trying to say is our users can freely come and post this content.
Why would there be no difference on Taylor Swift or a minimal difference and a massive difference on Tiananmen Square or Hong Kong?
Senator, could you wrap up, please?
Senator, our algorithm does not suppress any content simply based on
To
this.
answer that question, why is there a difference?
Like I said, I think this analysis is flawed. You're selectively choosing some words over some periods. We haven't been around as long as other apps.
There is an obvious difference, 174 to 1 for Hong Kong.
Well, I would say initially in that exchange, Senator Cruz was asking good questions. The other ones, I'm like, I don't get them questions at all. That don't make no sense. I can kind of agree with the TikTok CEO on that latter question, but the initial questions concerning Tom Cotton and Senator Cruz was spot on. Again, these are legality questions, right? My initial concerns concerning that is when it comes to the TikTok CEO, a logical question is this here, is you have an American wife, you have American kids, right? You are Singaporean. Great. You serve the country. Awesome. No problem. You have a citizenship in Singapore. Why don't you have a dual one in the United States? If you're so embedded into this being a U.S. company. Again, logical question. You may have an answer. Don't know. But that's a logical question, right? Because in your opening statements with the House, you made it a point to say this is a U.S. company. Great. Why don't you have citizenship in the country as your company? And as you say, it's U.S. Number 2, ByteDance. ByteDance is a Chinese company. They have other Chinese companies as well. Phenomenal. Great. No problem. But he's saying that there's some guardrails called Project Texas that actually guards them from some influence of ByteDance. I've never seen a parent company not have some type of influence, right, on a subsidiary, right? Not saying that the subsidiary may not be able to overrule them. No, but I've never seen that before. I'm open to being persuaded. These are logical questions that you have to answer now. These are logical questions. You know what I'm saying? It's, whoo, man. Again, good exchange. No problem with it at all. Now, let's look at this bill because you've heard all of the talk from the House members. You heard the TikTok CEO's testimony. You've heard the back and forth between him and U.S. senators as well. Also, guys, that goes on for a lot longer, but I'm not going to bore you at all. But at the exact same time, let's look at this bill. And I thought it would be wise, guys, for us to bring in our partners, man, from Valuetainment, real quickly. PBD, Patrick B. David, and his squad there, man. My dudes, my people, my mans and them. And let's unpack this. And my question is, could this be a Trojan horse type of bill? Let me say it again. Could this be a Trojan horse type of bill? Could it be? Let's dive into the details, guys. And what you're going to hear is probably going to shock you a little bit because initially, when I made my initial comments on Instagram on my sister Suni's live, and which was great over there, I made a private equity comment. I then retracted my comment and changed my position live, right there on the live, when Suni, Julius, as well as Max gave me some additional perspective, and I went to go read the bill. And let's listen to what's going on, guys. Let's dive into this real fast. Again, because it's been a Trojan horse. Here we go.
This is bill that could see TikTok banned in the U.S. Okay, House passes bill that could see TikTok banned in the U.S. Let's kind of go through a couple of these things here. Robin, I think you have a video for this as well, right? The House of Representatives has passed a bill that could pave the way for TikTok to be banned in the U.S. app stores. Both Democrats and Republicans supported the measure, which advanced out of committee in a unanimous 50-0 bipartisan vote. Interesting.
Wow.
It's a rare show of bipartisan unity in a heavily fractured political environment. The bill led by House China.
I did not know, guys, that out of committee, when the bill is drafted, it goes to a committee first. I didn't know out of the committee, guys, 50-0, which means all Republicans and all Democrats and all the independents, if they're in there, right, voted to pass this bill out of committee to bring it to the floor. So both sides of the aisle agree with this bill. I want to make that very clear before we unpack what's in this bill. Here we go. Let's get it in with the people.
Select Committee Chair Mike Gallagher, Republican, Wisconsin, and Ranking Member Representative Raja Krishnamurti, Democratic from Illinois, would block TikTok in the U.S. if its parent company, ByteDance, does not divest it from its within 165 days of passage. That's 6 months.
Yes.
I think it's 6 months, right? Is that about 6:30?
Yes,
that's 6 months,
correct.
give or take, just under 6 months. So it would also require, I think it's less than 6 months. It's 5.5 months, give or take. It would also require to be bought by a country that is not a U.S. adversary. It's not immediately clear if the Senate will take up the legislation. Tom, what do you know about the...
So another thing, guys, I did not know that another country that's not an adversary can also acquire TikTok as well if a U.S. Company does not step up and buy it within this time frame of 165 days. Interesting. I didn't know that. Didn't know that at all. But hold on, wait a minute. Well, now I can. Why would that be in the? Why would that be in the bill? Why would if the issue is a exterior country has influence with a parent company of a company called TikTok, and that adversary is also that country is also your biggest adversary. Why would you put into the bill another country? I understand that they're not an adversary, but why would you even open that back up again? That didn't make any damn sense. Why would you do that? Why not have this U.S. company and that's it? Why? That's asinine. That's dumb. Why would you welcome in another country to potentially do the same thing that China's doing? I know that they may be a partner with you, but damn that! Like, why would you do that for? I digress, man. Here we go, man. I mean, again, I got a question about this bill. Here we go. Let's get it in real fast. Here we go.
About this TikTok ban that we have going on here.
Well, first of all, you mentioned the committee 50-0, but then it went to the House floor 352-65.
Mm-hmm.
That is bipartisan if you've ever seen it.
Yes, it is.
That was strong message from Congress. And what they're saying is, hey, either an American company has to understand that they need to own it, meaning on American servers, on U.S. soil, all of that, or you're basically off the air. So we're going to cut you off and you come over here. But who's going to buy it? Who's up for this? Well, that's interesting. Do you know who the infrastructure partner, the key infrastructure partner, cloud services? It's Oracle. Oracle is the infrastructure services provider for Oracle Cloud. And Larry Ellison would be the guy who's in pole position because if you buy TikTok, they don't make money yet, and part of it is the incredible infrastructure that takes to support all the video in the background. Okay. So if Microsoft buys TikTok, and they were rumored to be one of them, they don't think Department of Commerce will let that happen because they already own LinkedIn, and everybody's worried. It's like Spirit and Southwest Airlines couldn't get together because it would be, remember that PBD? And they would say, hey, no, that's one low-cost airline. That would be too much. The consumers need choice. So people don't think that Microsoft would be given permission to buy TikTok because they already have LinkedIn. There'd be too much social media power. Okay. But whoever buys it is either going to be paying Larry Ellison a ton of money for infrastructure, or Larry Ellison buys it. And there's really, if you look around, the people that are out there, Amazon is out there. And then the question is Alphabet out there. Because remember, Alphabet, Google lost. They were part of the LinkedIn bid process, and they lost. They did. To Microsoft that already had Slack and LinkedIn business services.
And God knows they desperately needed a LinkedIn because Google Plus didn't do well.
Yeah. Correct. So the pole position.
Tom, is Google Plus still active at all or no? Is it at all around? Like, this is not a joke. I'm actually asking a real question.
Well, as they say in social media, if you have to ask, it's. I don't know that. I don't even know if it's. I'm embarrassed to say I don't know, but I don't even think it's still alive.
Did they stop it? Does it say like an end date, Rob? Zoom in. Does Google Plus have an end date?
Shut down.
Oh, okay. Got it. They shut it down. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, so this puts Google, Alphabet, and Oracle side by side. So if Google buys it, they're writing big checks to Larry Ellison. Yeah. If Larry buys it, he puts all that profit in his pocket.
Apparently this is like, by the way, and this is my opinion, anytime Nancy Pelosi is like all in with the other side, something is off, okay? And I just sent Rob the photo. Rob, can you show what the bill is? This TikTok ban, they're saying is a Trojan horse that's going to be put in like, hey, we're trying to save us from China, when actuality, this thing is going to give the president power to take down any website, any app by saying it's a foreign. This is it right here, Pat. I'll read it for you. TikTok's ban bill, HR 7521, gives the executive branch of government the power to define any platform or website as foreign owned, even if it's domestic, giving them the ability to control, censor the content being published by the company. Elon Musk posted, this law is not about TikTok. It's about censorship and government control.
Stop right there. Hold on, wait a minute. What in the world? Why would the legislative branch give so much power to the executive branch, and when it comes to deeming if a social media platform is a national security threat or not, while at the exact same time saying that a country that's not the United States, if a U.S. company does not acquire it, another country can acquire TikTok as well. This is buffoonery. Why would that right there gives the executive branch unbridled power? Can we say corruption, somebody? Can we say censorship, somebody? What is this? Why would you not stop the bill at just a company acquiring in the U.S., acquiring TikTok? Why would you not stop there? Why would you add in the addendum of another country acquiring TikTok, and also giving this type of authority to the executive branch to deem by declaration and executive order that this said platform is a national security threat. That seems very socialist to me. This is asinine. And they voted for this mess? This is trash. What is this? This is the bill? Huh? So hold on. We had both sides talking about censorship while at the exact same time. This is for the last 8 years. Both sides of the aisle talking about censorship, right? So both sides while at the exact same time in this bill giving the president the power to censor. That makes sense. That's the dumbest thing I ever read in my life. This could be a stepping stone to another bill. It's called the Restriction Act, right? Another bill that gives the executive branch even more authority. Who's to say that all of a sudden now they put a bill in there, this is hypothetical, that the executive branch can deem a business, not just social media platforms, a business is a national security threat, so I'm going to shut them down. Well, a bit socialist, isn't it? That's what happened in Venezuela. That's what happened. This is dumb. Let's keep going.
Think about it. They can't shut Elon down. They can't shut down X. Now they just found the way to manipulate and get in there and be like, oh, this is going to give the president, the executive branch power to go, wait a minute. This is, even if it's domestic, they can shut down a website or a platform.
Wow.
That's the way to get.
So hold on. This is even if it's domestic. What the? So now, oh my God, this is Bray Woosah. Okay, we'll tell it out. So in this bill, guys, that both sides agreed to, then this not only gives power to the executive branch to deem an external or an international social media company or company is a national security threat, it could also deem a domestic company as well. You see the language? Let's keep going, guys, man. Read bills.
To get X.
Rob, play this clip.
This is my girlfriend, Nancy. Talk, girl. Go ahead, girl.
The main thing, though, is we want TikTok to exist. We're not there to ban it. I've said we want to make it tic-tac-toe. We have to see the divesting of it from the Chinese government, having the custodial possession of the data, whether they have used it.
She's drunk. She's 3 martinis in.
Custodial access to the data.
Yeah, that's the question. So there's 2 questions here. The first question is, who's going to buy it? That's a question I answered, and this is what came out of committee. The second question is, to your point, very good point, is what ends up being in the bill. Because it's a bill, not just an executive action to say, hey, for national security purposes, you need to sell and divest. They're actually putting a bill together to force it. And we all know that when it's in a bill, we had this big argument last time, and I yelled at Adam, is that what's in the bill, what else is in the bill is what's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Vinny, you bring up a great point. The whole Trojan horse concept. Rob, I sent you something. The person that basically brought daylight about this was the representative from Kentucky, Thomas Massey. He's been out there. I sent you his tweet right there. But you're absolutely right. He basically said in the tweet, the so-called TikTok ban is a Trojan horse. The website will be given the power, the president will be given the power to ban websites.
Not just, oh, wow.
There it is right there. The person breaking the new law is deemed to be the U.S. or offshore internet hosting service or the App Store, not the foreign app.
The president will be given the power to ban websites, not just apps. That seems a bit right. Hell no. That's socialist. That's communistic. This is a trash bill.
Foreign adversary. I'm actually super appreciative that we're hearing both sides because I've been very outspoken, especially last podcast, like China and the CCP cannot be trusted.
Exactly.
Espionage, data collection.
Agree.
Surveillance, sowing discord, Gen Z indoctrination. There's a lot to be said of why TikTok should be divested, sold off, everything like that. So there's been leaks. We've talked about whistleblowers with Boeing. We've talked about whistleblowers with January 6th. There's been whistleblowers or leaks within TikTok. And one of the whistleblowers says, listen, whatever you hear from the CEO, Xu Zichu, don't believe it, because everything is seen in China. All data flows to China.
Wow.
We're talking about this House committee that voted 50-0 to ban TikTok. Well, there's a committee in China, and they're part of the CCP, and they're embedded within ByteDance that owns TikTok. And you know what they're called? The committee. And they get to view all the data that is around the country, so around the world. So it's a great conversation to be had. I think it was 50 Democrats who voted against this, 15 Republicans. But at the end of the day, 352 congressmen. There's the number right there.
Yeah.
352 to 65. There's a saying out there that when both parties agree upon something, be very skeptical.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, I'm thinking who's encouraging to keep TikTok? Who is it? Because we've heard countless calls of people calling Congress to basically keep TikTok. It's helping my business.
Yes.
Teenagers calling their congressmen because they're obviously
this is not that though,
addicted.
Right? This isn't about shutting down TikTok, because
Divest.
whoever ends up shutting down TikTok in the U.S., you're gonna lose that voter base, whatever that voter base.
I agree with that.
Right?
I agree with that.
They're all very, very careful on who it gets the credit for that, right?
Of course.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like yesterday we're having a conversation with one of my guys, and he's a PhD guy, and the conversation is about, hey, the daughter is is not a very good swimmer, okay? And but the father, it's a very interesting dynamic. The father is like, no, but I think she's going to be an Olympic swimmer. And the mother was a swimmer. And the mother's telling the father, like, listen, your daughter's not going to be a Olympic swimmer. She's lazy. She doesn't do this. She doesn't do that. And people at her age, when it comes down to, no, but she's going to be a swimmer. So I'm having a conversation here saying, how do I break this down to that person, my husband, that my stepdaughter is not going to be a professional swimmer. I said, well, always find somebody else to give bad news like that. If it's a dynamic like that, you're marrying somebody with another kid, that the father is always going to protect their kids than the new spouse that they're married to, right? Nobody here wants to get the credit for that. Having said that, that's not what they're saying. They're not saying shutting down TikTok in the States. They're simply talking about divesting and having somebody else own them. Correct. Now, while they're doing that, if, Tom, you guys are saying that this is going to be a bill, they can always revert back, because right now they could agree here together, right? Fast forward in 2028, go to 2032. All of a sudden, Elon Musk, hey, listen, we're not liking this, and we have to divest. He owns too many companies.
Exactly.
He owns Tesla. He owns this. He owns that. We have to divest. What's going on with Twitter? And that could be a way for them to use this as a bill to get a company that is an opposing company to all the other social media companies they control to give up control as well.
And you nailed it. Think about it. You know why the left hates Elon? Because he's letting us talk. He's letting everybody open opinion, either good or bad. We get to see it. And that's why he's on drugs. His brain is gone. He's messing with women. I'm telling you right now, this in the long run is going to come back. They're going to try to shut down X because of this type of bill. I'm telling you right now. Because by the way, Adam, you said, you know who owns ByteDance?
So if you like this clip.
So guys, man, there's a lot in that bill that I have a big concern about. A lot in that bill. Shout out to Thomas Massey, Representative Thomas Massey, for pointing all this out. And if you read the bill, guys, and I wanted to bring you some commentary for this, because I believe that, and this is my reaction to all this, I believe that this is not about TikTok. This is really about control of information. We're in the information age. You can get the information in seconds, right? You have the agricultural age, the industrial age. Now we in the information age, right? You have information at your fingertips, right? So this is now a information war, right? It's warfare over information is what it is. And so if the powers that be can control the verbiage of everybody that's on social media, they can formulate the mentality of the audience. As a man thinks, so is he, right? Faith comes by hearing, right? And so the windows of your ears, if they can control what's coming in your ears and your eyes, they can formulate your mind, therefore controlling you. Because if it was just about TikTok, there would be no addendum in there talking about external companies can actually, not companies, countries. Other countries can acquire TikTok? No, because you're in a situation because you're concerned about China, right? Number two, they would have the addendum to get given the executive branch all of that authority and the authority to even say said website is a national security threat, bring it down. Trash. No, sir. That bill is not about TikTok. It's not, I'm sorry, not about, it's not about controlling TikTok. It's about controlling information, right? Yes, there are concerns concerning the ByteDance being a Chinese company and it's the parent company of TikTok. Concern there, right? There's concerns when the CEO said that there's 5 board members on TikTok, 3 are American, but he didn't say anything about the other 2. That's a concern. Who are the other 2 board members? There is a concern concerning 20% of the investors in TikTok or global investors. Great. Who are those investors? If they're companies, who are the founders of those companies? Who's on the board of those companies? And so on and so forth. Those are healthy questions to ask. But this trash bill here, give it that much authority to the executive branch to control, to begin to censor websites, to begin to censor companies, to begin to censor social media companies, trash. No, sir. Take that mess out. Keep in a U.S. company can acquire TikTok. Keep that up in there. No problem. Or the other mess, get it out. It made no damn sense. I hope that this is what they are debating in the Senate. I hope that's what it is. Because as the bill stands, it's garbage. It's trash. That is the worst bill. The worst bill. It is. You're seeing censorship when it came into Canada. I was speaking to a friend of mine, Michelle, up there in Canada. She's talking about what's going on in Canada. It's censorship going up in Canada. And we want to bring it down to the U.S. with this bill? How in the hell if you vote for that, and I'm talking about my congressman voted for it? I know 3 of them were 2. No, 3. I know 3 congressmen. 2 by relationship, but 3 congressmen. I'm going to discuss with them and say, yo, man, why did you vote for this bill? Why is this in the bill? Why? I gotta ask those questions. What was offered to you in a business transaction from a negotiation standpoint for you to be okay with this being in the bill? Is this the best for your constituents in your district? Guys, we're in an election year. You better begin to ask these damn questions to those running for those congressional and Senate seats and the presidency. You better ask them. Now, I do this show, guys, so you can become more wiser, to begin to ask more questions, invite in debate, so that you can go to your congressman or congresswoman to be able to say, hey, I got some questions about said bill. Great. What are the questions? I'll give you an example. I went to a gathering and my congressman was there, right? And it was over oil and gas. And I had been sending legislation via EO and also that had been prescribed within the House, right? And I said, okay, what are you going to do to begin to curtail really this administration kind of being anti-fossil fuels and more EV? Because we're swimming in petroleum and natural gas, right? Specifically in Texas. So what are you going to do? I began to ask some pointed questions about how you're going to negotiate this. And he was ready. He was ready for it. He gave some good answers. But I'm like, hey, guys, when you in your district, guys, we're on the board. We're on the board of our districts, right? We're in the boardroom. We're on the board. We're board members. We send someone up there to Washington, whether it be a senator or a congresswoman or congressman up to Washington. And as board members, we got to hold them accountable and say, hold up, man, this is not what we sent you up there to do. Oh, man, great job, man. Thank you for keeping our agenda going for our district. Hold them accountable. The only way it can happen, guys, is if you begin to read bills. My good sister Suni is so good at reading bills. Bills. So you can go to your congressman and say, hey, why is this in the bill? They don't want to have those discussions, guys. All they want you to do is to like them and go vote for them. Hell no. No. We got to sit down and talk. Why are you voting this way? Come see us. You are a board member of the district. Act like it. Stop being passive and become more aggressive. Well, not aggressive, more intuitive, right? More engaged with your congresswoman or congressman as well as senator, right? Now, we have some comments on Instagram, guys. Michelle, who I spoke, Michelle said, I agree with you completely, but as a Canadian person, I'm wondering why the Canadian socialist government hasn't tried to implement the same type of legislation. I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. And if she's bringing this up and she's saying that the Canadian government is a socialist country, this is a socialist bill. Stop playing this game. Then she also said, guys, he says this bill alone puts the U.S. in the realm of censorship that Canadians are experiencing. So she's saying right now she's experiencing this in Canada. She's under a socialist system right now. She's under it right now, guys. And lastly, she said, if this bill gets passed in the U.S., it will open the floodgates for heightened censorship of thought, opinion, and speech. She's spot on. You better get to ask some questions. Get off your behind, put your phone down, and begin to read some damn bills. Playtime's up. I love what Dan Bongino says. Cutesy time is over. Playtime is over. It's a wrap. It's done. If you want to continue to play, stop bitching and moaning about bills, about what's going on. You playing. It is time to get off the sidelines and become engaged and be the board member that you are, because when it comes to your district, you are a board member. Act like it. All right, y'all. Man, my bad. I didn't mean to preach at y'all. My fault. My bad. Anyways, I turned up a little bit because that bill's trash. Garbage. Oh, I got to have some conversations. I'm going to have some conversations. Yes, sir. I'm going to have some nice conversations about this one. I'm going to have the bill in front of me saying, yo, why is this in the bill? Holler at your partner. I'm a board member. And I'm calling them. I got 3 of them calling. 3 of them, and you see them on TV a lot. I got 3 of them calling like, yo, had to sit down for some coffee. Play. Oh, what's going on with these bills? You asked them for my vote. Why is this up in here? Give me some reasons why. Oh, it's going to be great discussions. I'm looking forward to discussions. But guys, what's the kind of move, guys? Great. I always say, guys, peep it, sweep it, keep it. This is going to be a little different. Peep it, guys. Examine your current situation. And what I mean by that, very simple, guys. Do you like free speech? Do you like censorship? Do you like having your own opinion? Do you like it? Whichever one you like, are you experiencing what you're liking now when it comes to social media? Right? And I'm talking about this bill itself, right? Are you experiencing what you're liking right now? Right? Now, here we go. Now, people, now, if you like it, okay, cool. Keep doing what you're doing. You should be if you are liking either a freedom of speech, your own opinion, engaging in debate, right? You should not be. This bill probably does not shake hands with you. If you're liking censorship, controlling thought processes, not engaging in debate, you love this bill. So now vote accordingly. Have discussions accordingly now, right? And then lastly, keep it. For those that love freedom of speech, debate, and freedom of thought, start thinking generationally, guys. That's how you begin to kind of fine-tune your vision so that you can then begin, right, to prescribe the right solution for you. Because I have some serious concerns about this bill. It is extremely concerning to me. So for me specifically, guys, generationally, this is a trash bill because it curtails freedom of speech, opinion, and debate, thought, right? That's a generational thinker. Now, if your solution begins and ends with you, generational thinking is not for you. And that's okay. Be okay with your legacy beginning and ending with you. Be okay with that. For me, a wise man plans for 3 generations. So I think my plans are 3 generations ahead of me. Every time I'm thinking about my kids. What are they going to do? How's this going to affect them? If your thought process begins and ends with you, you have already failed. It's a wrap. And if your survival is predicated upon what a politician does for you, you've lost. You've lost because you are opposed to freedom of speech, thought, and debate. That takes work. Generational thinking is not easy. It's work. It's problem solving. It's reasoning. It's taking some losses, inviting in wise counsel. That is generational thinking. If you don't like that at all, be okay with what's going on. I'm not. That bill's trash. Okay, we got some questions on Instagram, guys. Thank you so much for your time, guys. All right, we said we have reinventing Carol. Thank you so much for being here. Do you really think we have any say in this anymore? Yes. But the reason I said it, ma'am, is because of the fact that the power is in your vote. Power's in your vote. The power is in how you educate yourself. Right? The most wealthiest place in the world is the cemetery. Why? So much was not given to the world, but was buried with that person. Don't be that person. Go to the grave exhausted. Giving it all. That's a generational thinker, guys. That's what that is. Should you be concerned? Sure. But don't let your mind stay at being concerned. Okay, I'm concerned. What can I do to kind of change this thing around? What can I do? If that makes some sense. Let's see. Anybody else? It says, passionate about our country. Don't fault. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I am a little passionate because I have a family. I have a wife who I call my life, and I have kids, 2 little girls. My mind and my heart, right? And so at the exact same time, guys, I'm planning for their children. If you're not planning for their generations, I'm sorry. And that planning begins with you first. Right? Invite in some wise counsel, see where your blind spots are, and begin to properly plan. It's extremely simple, guys. Man. But guys, give me your thoughts. What do you think, man? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me as well? Let me know, guys, what it is. Give me your comments concerning the bill as well. I am open to being persuaded. By no means do I know all things. That's what changed my mind, because initially I was on a Instagram Live and I was really for the bill. I was for this bill before I even read the bill, which is wasn't wise at all. But after I was on another live that same night, and I got some additional information, and I logged off and I began to read the bill. I said, wait a minute, I got to change my mind. I'm open to being persuaded. I am. But man, guys, every Friday, guys, we have Real Estate Friday training, guys, with Cliff and I. Every single Friday at 5 p.m. on all platforms. We talk about the current market analysis in the real estate space, guys. Then we talk about a certain topic, which is kind of popular that week. And then we actually give an actual strategy that you can begin to implement now. You can make 5, 10, 20 grand in a month by executing the strategy the right way, guys. So, guys, man, tune in every Friday at 5 p.m. CST on all platforms, guys. And then number 2, guys, also, man, we have a sponsor, guys, American Rounds, guys. It's the first AI-powered ammo vending machine in your grocery store. Full disclosure, I am an investor in that company, which I'm a partner in the company as well also. And I mention this, guys, because they sponsored the show, guys. And, man, we are exploding, guys. Let's go ahead and hear what they got to say real fast, and then we got here. Here we go.
The CEO of American Rounds. We are in Pell City, Alabama at Fresh Value grocery store installing the first ever automated retail machine for ammunition. The stores were really the inspiration for it. I mean, they knew their customer base and they came to us and thought this would be a really good opportunity for their customer base. There's a lot of hunting community here in Pell City and thought that their customers would love an opportunity to be able to buy ammunition here at the store.
We're super excited to offer, what we think is the first ammo kiosk. We're always looking for ways to give our customer another reason to come visit our stores. Anything that we can do to help them make their shopping trips easier based on the feedback that we've gotten just from customers today. They are so excited about us having the ammo kiosk.
We're getting ammo!
One of the ways we're changing the landscape of ammunition sales is to make it more available. Being able to move into a place like a grocery store, supermarket makes it a lot more available to the public. But we're taking a different approach to it. Traditionally, ammunition is sold at outdoor type stores, your sporting goods stores, and it just sits on a shelf. It's very accessible. Because of that, there's a high rate of theft. But with our machines, as you can see here, we have a very secure automated retail machine. We're able to age verify. We scan a driver's license. It then takes 360 facial recognition for the purchase and matches it to the ID. So the machines really provide an opportunity for safe, affordable, and available ammunition sales.
There is no doubt that foot traffic will increase based on the feedback that we've gotten. And again, we're super excited not only to have it here, but in other locations in Fresh Value as well.
We're really excited about where we're going. We are going to continue to expand here in Alabama. We have a machine slated to go into Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas. So over the next year, we're looking forward to, seeing these roll out all throughout the South and the Southeast.
Guys, that's American Rounds, the world's first AI-powered ammo machine. That'll be in your grocery stores, guys. We actually went to it was a grocery store conference, guys, this week. We'll be at 2,000 locations in the next 36 months. 2,000. That it is exploding like crazy, which is pretty cool, guys. So again, go to AmericanRounds.com. You can go to all the social media platforms as at American Rounds, guys. Take a look at it, guys. We have some content out there, guys, to kind of let you know what's going on. Interviews with the CEO and myself, with a partner of mine, James Case, and myself as well. Really unpacking the vision behind it, guys. You can kind of see what's going on. And it's been very interesting to see how political leaders have said, man, well, I want to sit down and talk with you about this. This solves a lot of problems. And it bridges the gap for both on the liberal side and the conservative side when it comes to making it safe for Second Amendment firearm owners to actually be able to acquire ammo the safe way, which is good. But guys, man, check it out, American Rounds, guys. Guys, thank you so much for your time. God bless you. I end it every single time, guys, before you leave and while you can. You see that thing in my salmon. Ooh, I looking fresco clean today, baby. Take that damn picture and give it to your mama and them and holler at your partner. Guys, see you guys next week, guys. Holler at you guys. God bless you. Peace.